Welcome, everyone, to Sunday Fuel, where we go over the trades for the last week and the trade setups for the week ahead for Bitcoin. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, alongside, as always, uh, whatever your name is. What's your name? Peter.
Peter Hartman,
Hmm.
the
And
Great.
as you hear
Peter
later,
Hartman, the Great.
that's right. Um, Now, there's not much to. Oop, I just switched our screen. Welcome to Sunday Fuel, where we go over the trades for the. No, we don't have to do it again. Um, it's been consolidation all week, Peter.
Yeah, what's going
Just
on?
consolidation all week. Since the drop on February 5th, it's just been sideways markets. Now, I like sideways markets to a certain point because once you get these oscillations, you can just trade oscillation after oscillation, which has been great so far. Let me just pull up the chart. All right. And so if we take a look at the last week, let's just toss on you. All right. They see me loading. All right. So the ninth last week was over here. So this is where our weekly trade started. And the idea here is that we talked about that we'd be moving up to this level over here. So this is the 97.3. I forget the exact number that we said last week, but essentially there. And it worked as always, as almost always. The trade worked fantastically, and we moved up to that level. After that, do you remember, Peter? I was saying there's actually no level at the top over here that's calling us. We
Mhm.
just have this level down here at 88, 88, and then 74. And so we have this the weird scenario where there's nothing to call the price up. And so after we hit the weekly, we actually moved up a little bit higher in order to get the VWAP from the day before that wasn't hit. Great, we called there, and then we've just been oscillating since then. So this was a good trade from the whenever I'm hitting the weekly trend from so this weekly price from below. I always take a short anyway, just in case we reverse down. So the trade was from here to over here. This was the target level. Let me just zoom in. So if we just replay from over here, you'll see that once we moved up to the weekly high, yeah. So once we moved up to this weekly high, which is the target for the week from over here, I actually took an initial short from over here. This level here, we had the cross on this level, but whenever it happens like on the bar, like on the weekly bar, it's sometimes a little bit sus. I haven't gotten the rules for this yet, but the this level then becomes it's almost like quasi mitigated. It can still call the price.
Mm.
So that's why as we move forward, it actually came down over here. It actually mitigated it. Um, and we've just been oscillating between these areas. Now, what we're paying attention to now is still this $88,000 level down here is still being called, right? There's still this downward pressure towards this area, but we are consolidating sideways. So if I actually toss on wave here, let's toss on wave. What we also talked about last week is that this purple line, this purple wave, the seasonal average, is moving up, and it moved up past the
Hmm.
88 level, past our recent lows, and it's just been moving up, moving up, moving up. At the same time, we have this trend here moving lower. I don't know if you can see it, Peter. It's a little bit. little bit hard
I
to see, but
can.
this is
I can see it.
brown line here. And this level is moving lower. This level is moving lower. This level is moving higher. So whenever I see this sort of thing, and this is the trend that we've been following also for a while. So whenever you get this sort of convergence, you know that generally speaking, around this area is when you're going to get some sort of clarity. Usually, either the price is going to move down and then up, or whatever. Something should happen around this area. So I'm expecting a significant move, basically by the 24th of February. Now, as long as we don't, so this is sort of like causing. Does it make sense to you, Peter, if I would say that this area sort of causes this squeezing? It's squeezing together, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, it's going to have to decide. It's not likely to just continue off sideways. It could, but it's not likely to do that. And when I toss on, yeah, so something might need to be resolved. Now, I do have a concern here. I was paying attention to dollar liquidity. If we take a look at that here, let's go to the daily. And I've been following this chart. It's been useful in order to get ideas of peaks and bottoms in liquidity. So I was expecting a move up to happen basically by now. Now, if it turns out that that move up, that all that was this little bounce from over here to up over here, and that's what counted for this move.
hmm
So basically, if by today, tomorrow, if we don't actually break significantly higher, then we end up in this consolidation downward. Let me move our picture. You end up in this consolidation and then downward move in Bitcoin, right? If this is as high as we go and we head sideways and we head down, well, then we are actually likely to get down to the $88,000 range.
Right.
Now, we did have a pickup in liquidity. So this pickup in liquidity that we're seeing over here, this purple line, this is what's offset over here, which is suggesting that around April is when we should start seeing another significant move up, even higher than what we saw recently. In fact, are you even higher than this one over here? Yeah, so this would be like near 106 levels. It's not an exact one for one correlation, so you can't go exactly with that. But I like looking at what level were we at previously. So this level over here, this level over here matches liquidity over here. So I keep hearing about the banana zone that we're going to get from Raul and from other people, and there is an indication that liquidity is building up because we are getting that short-term liquidity that's moving up over here, and we have our wave moving up. But if we break down over here, if we break below, let's say 92.9 again, or let's call it 93, if we break and close below there, it looks like we're going to go down until April. So we'll see. Sort of up in the air here. I'm inclined to believe that we actually do break up to around, even up to 109 between now and essentially this week. And what I'm looking towards over here is, so the weekly trend, we can already see like where it's about to open up. So that's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight. Let's just load this a second. Let's just hide you and hide wave. All right, so we have here, so our weekly trend is going to end over here, and so we know that this
A
is
weekly
be the
trend
area.
or a weekly trade?
Well, the weekly volume weighted average price ends and resets at 7 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, and we could already tell that this price level, if we stay around the price where we are right now, this will be the new level that we're going to be targeting, around 96.7, and that's slightly lower than the week beforehand, and which is lower than the week before that, which is lower than the week before that. So that suggests a downside move, that it's bearish. But you'll notice that the area over here is larger, and then smaller. It would be a smaller area over here. So that often happens at the end of this bearish period. So if we take a look at previous times, let's toss on our trend signal. And we switch this to the weekly. So you see it's red here, 1, 2. So often these comes in threes. And if we look at that, when the next area is small, the red trend can turn into a green trend. Again, if we look further out, another example here, the red trend is it's red, 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 and then here it turns into a small area. So even though this price is lower, this trend is lower than the previous one, because it's smaller, it indicates potentially a bottom end signal. Let's take a look at another example. Over here, it's red. The next one is smaller. We head up. Over. Let's go over here. Red. The next one smaller. Up. But I would expect if that was going to happen, that before the close or right after, we should get some big move up. Right? We should get some larger move above that area. Again, over here. Some larger move above that area. So I'm looking for, because we've been consolidating sideways, and because our wave has moved up, our wave has moved upwards. 1 second. And we are respecting it, right? We respect it here. We respected it over here. So if we keep going, chances are we move up. I'm still thinking 109 is what we get to. But because we're not getting confirmation on the volume weighted average trend, we can't bank on that. Like I would not say here, now take a double position up. In fact, I might even say just take half a position up. And the weekly trade for this week won't even fire because we're just too close to it. It's just too narrow. At most, you can make what? Let's say the price stayed where it is right now, 25 basis points. That's like nothing, right? So at most, you can make on a 50x trade 12%. Like not worth it. If we're not making at least 100%, like why try the trade? So I would say there's no trade for this week. Let's wait to see what happens. We're going to follow the daily moving averages, and if we do get a close below 93, actually, if we can get a close below 95, a close below 95, like where the candle doesn't just bounce off but closes down here, that would be a sign that we could move lower. But even then, we're going to have a bounce up towards the daily average, and then we're going to roll over again. So there's going to be time to get into the trade.
All right. Well, so holding pattern here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was expecting a much larger move up. I did tweet out, hey, we might close at 95.9.
Yeah.
We got to $100 away from that, and it was just a high peak. So I was wrong that we would close there. We did basically almost touch that, and it happened right on the trend. I always feel a little bit uncomfortable with those price points because I'm calling a price, but I'm calling a price based on the level, on the trend level. So the thing could still be right if tomorrow, well, I'll just show it to you on the chart over here, just to make it clear. So this level over here is what I was talking about, right over here. So the reason I called 109, I called 109 on the, what was it? The 10th, I think I did it. It's because this is the level I was talking about. I don't know if you're seeing that trend there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was talking about. And so that was at 98.9. And so later on, when it got over here and the price moved up, this higher trend came down and cut below it. And so that became the new high.
Mm.
So it happened over there. So now that same level is no longer 98.9. Now that level is 98. And this can continue to fall if the price keeps falling. So we really need to break above that level, this level over here, for us to start talking about long-term bullish trends, and we need to break below over here for us to be talking about long-term bearish trends. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I will be messaging Donald Trump, get that Bitcoin reserve asset going.
Spin it up. Spin it up. We need that. We need liquidity, or a crisis. We get a crisis, buddy boy. We're gonna get that 250K Bitcoin. And if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen between now and March, right? Window of weakness is until the OPEX in March, whatever, March 22nd. I'm not sure when it is. Ooh, our birthday. And so that's the window of weakness. So it makes sense that liquidity. I just love that offset with liquidity. The liquidity that starts rising in April makes sense. After the window of weakness is then when we might get the pickup, and so it could make sense that we make the rise there. But I actually make the most amount of money when Bitcoin goes sideways.
Really?
Yeah, because now then I have levels. When I'm in blue sky territory, I have no upper level to go to. So all I can do is wait for missed areas for the price to come back down. But it's a gamble. So I can lose, let's say, 1 or 2 positions just trying to get the trend right or waiting for the trend reversal. Whereas in consolidation, I buy the top of the range, sell at the lower of the range, buy open a position to lower the range, and sell at the top. So I just make this rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So my last trades are like plus 100%, plus 100%, plus 100%, plus 100%.
So you don't want a crisis.
Well,
you can't make as much.
This system that I've been developing, I only started developing. We've only really been talking about it for the last couple of months. So I actually haven't had the joy of riding this through a big breakout. So that might be super profitable. But I just compared that to all the times I've lost in the past. This feels much better.
Yeah, the game is not to lose. It's not to win big. It's not to lose. Awesome.
All right, that's it for that, and we'll be back next Sunday with more Sunday Fuel. Bye, folks.